is your chance.
Megadon.
Monster Hunter is a very odd game. Yeah.
Like we did the one stream of it, and it's like, this game's okay. It doesn't necessarily lend itself well to streams, but I see why people would enjoy it.
And the thing I most remember about that, one, it's a precursor to where the Purple World came from,
Huh.
and Squish, I think you called it, or something like that.
Yeah.
And two, you put Lady Kiki on ice. Admittedly, I don't know how good the pixie monsters are. Wow, that's a very small, slow falling.
Physics!
Yeah.
I appreciate not being vomited on, monsters.
I am losing track of myself and it ain't good. Oh, that... You can stop lying down on the job.
This bodes poorly.
Yes.
Oh, god damn it.
Well, nothing we got one video out of this.
This is why you don't go 6 months between recordings, folks.
Yeah, I remember last time at least we did a few levels to warm up.
Yeah.
Because it was 2-3 months since last recording. Oh, you've got me up.
I will say that, like, by nature of how I game, when I am left to my own devices, I will have one of my consoles set up, because I hate changing out my consoles. And I will play a game for a good long while, and I will love it, and it's great. But eventually it'll be like, I need to do something else. And so I'll stop playing that game and think to myself, I'll get back to it. And then I don't for like 6 months to 5 years or however long.
Bloody hell.
In one notable instance, with Skies of Arcadia, I got to a certain point in the game and I'm like, oh, I need to just take a break from this for a while. I come back 6 months later and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to relearn how to do this. And it turns out, like, I was practically at the final boss. I'm like, oh.
Oh dear.
Oh. Well, if I had just kept up at it a little longer, I would have been done with this.
And at the time of this recording, I've recently bought myself a Switch, complete with Octopath 2 and Digimon Survive.
Yeah.
My primary focus has been on Octopath. Every now and then I've been switching out for Digimon Survive. I don't know which one's the more slog, for one reason or another, being Survive or Digimon Side Story Cyber Sleuth. Because they both have sluggish sections in them.
Yeah, like, everything I've heard about Digimon, as a franchise as a whole, the writing, the characterization, the monster designs, they're all good and really cool. Or in the case of monster designs, cat drugs. The games themselves,
They're not simple. You really need to know what you're doing.
yeah.
The problem with Digimon Survive is it's 2 parts visual novel, 1 part Final Fantasy Tactics. A very basic version of it. Which
Ow, that's an odd mix.
it suits me just fine because oh, you're down again. Because the visual novel elements denotes what your partner evolves into.
Okay.
Such as no matter what, you've got a Agumon as your partner. The standard evolution for Agumon in the animes is Greymon.
Right, right.
But
I remember he was practically the mascot of the franchise for a while.
Yeah. But my Agumon evolved into a Tyrannomon.
Ooh?
Big red dinosaur with stripes.
Diablo from Primal Rage.
Pretty much.
How many of you out there remember Primal Rage, folks?
I remember playing that on the arcade when I was on holiday with my grandparents. Some kid kept coming by, hitting start, eating up my extra lives, but it didn't mean I was getting further into the game in an incorrect manner.
Don't ruin arcade experiences for other people, folks.
Nail cannon!
Seki ha Tank Yoken! And Star is angry somewhere. G Gundam makes her so mad. Like she hates all of those characters. And she hated the Sekiha Tenkyoken so much in the goddamn Gundam Battle Assault LP.
Honestly, I gave up on your Let's Play for about two thirds in a bit, especially when you started with the G Gundam run. It was pretty much for the same reason I gave up on the second Devil Knight game. There's so much negativity I can take, and it's case of I can't take anymore.
I get that. I get that.
I don't want to say it's something that you need to stop on. It's case of it's your LP. You handle it how it is. It's just case of just don't expect me to stick around for it.
Honestly, like, even when there's shit I'm mocking about games, I'm trying to find good in games. Like, I know, like, the meme about Spiritfarer is that, like, oh, Lantern was angry about the cooking all the time. It's a very good game, my pickiness about how cooking works notwithstanding. If I was not enjoying the game, I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Because if we're doing a game and we're not enjoying it, you're not gonna enjoy it.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm like to think I'm careful about what we let's play on for the crew.
Yeah.
Especially testing the waters. Is this of interest for people? Or are we just going to get another Western Loathing? Admittedly, it was a case of it was just very much of we just didn't have anything to talk about for the game.
West of Loathing isn't a bad game. It's just it was the wrong game for us to LP, I feel. Which happens. Like, and in fact, like, on Star's channel, that has happened from time to time. I feel like more often than not, when that happens, it's a game I picked. It's like, okay, I should not have picked this game. Good to know. And again, that brings us back to Dungeon Hack, which I don't know what we're doing with that recording, but, like, it's a good game, it's just not for us to LP, you know?
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's the wrong combination of people, sometimes it's just like, oh, we have nothing to actually talk about this game. But yeah, like, the LPs, like, even when you're taking the piss out of a game, you should at least be having fun.
Yeah. It's like how this was really a secret project and continuing to the full LP. yeah, just gonna be you and me because we'll get the most out of it. Maybe Sirot, but it's just the timing there.
Yep.
And it's just like the latest secret project, the one that's now, I have no idea when I'm going to get that continued. It's a case of, I don't miss it now, it's a case of a secret project with Arcane, Griffin and Carl. It's a case of, it had to be those two.
It did. The only other person you could have brought in would have been Becca, but it definitely had to be Griffin and Carl.
Becca never responded to my call, so it's a case of...
Yeah. But, I was actually talking to Griffin this morning, and she is eager to be in more projects. It's just scheduling.
Oh yeah, I would love to have more projects.
Yep.
Okay, I need to get to the other side. It's just like the possibility for a first appearance in the Smalls. And that terrible idea we had, and she's all for it.
Of course she is. Like, when you said that, and you're like, I'm not sure if she will be, I was like, have you ever talked to her? She will not only do it, she will kick our asses with that. It'll be amazing.
And admittedly, my discussions with Griffin is mostly related to art and just general checking to see if each are all right. I'm not a good conversationalist.
Like the reason I talk to Griffin is, again, because I've known her for damn near half my life. We are very attached to each other. Well, this is going poorly.
Yeah. And the general feeling towards Griffin is, you consider me a friend, you reached out to me. It's a case of, what have I done to receive this blessing?
She enjoys seeing the projects you're working on, and she knows you're friends with me.
Oh God, this guy's a weak. Okay, so she backs my projects. She has influenced my projects. In this case of one of my projects, I've gone back and redone to basically remind us, oh yes, that oops in that one particular channel that actually inspired me to do. I've redone the colouring so it matches as close as I get to match her original oops.
See, Griffin very much is an artist, and she loves, and like a multimedia artist in that, like, she writes, she acts, she sculpts, she draws, she paints, and she just gets excited to see people create. Anybody, and about anything, pretty much.
Yeah, notice has been very enabling on my more interesting projects.
She, as of this recording, like, I was like, I'm thinking of drawing one of those things I draw today, but I'm not sure what. And she had a suggestion of, like, oh, you should jump on this particular bandwagon that is related to something Nintendo showed off recently, shall we say. And I'm like, welp.
Is it basically role reverse of the happened in the movie?
It's a particular character who has shown up in a particular trailer for a particular game, who everyone on the planet has glommed onto, shall we say.
It's clearly not Gino.
No!
If Mage is actually watching this, which will be a bit of a surprise for me, really, it's case of, no one cares about Gino!
Gino is great in some ways, but I find him boring. Granted, back when I first played Mario RPG, he was my favorite character because, oh my god, he's like mysterious and he has space lasers, which are cool. It's just like going back and re-experiencing the game. It's like, he's just kind of the exposition fairy,
Yeah.
which is fine. And again, the stuff he does is cool, but like Mallow, for instance, has more of a character arc and personality. And then there's Bowser.
Bowser and secondly Peach get so much development in the grand scheme of the RPG and Paper Mario series.
Yeah. Basically, in any sort of Mario RPG game, anything that comes out of Bowser's mouth is guaranteed to be gold.
Railgun!
Overkill. Mario RPG is genuinely one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm I remember when Surratt was pitching LPing that, he's like, "You know stuff about this game. Would you be interested?" And I'm just over here going like, "Oh."
With gusto.
Yep. The gods have descended.
It's like the second coming of Avery Attorney.
Yeah, in some ways.
You didn't know you were going to love it at the time, but it somehow became what it became. And
Aviary was a work of art. I don't know what kind of art.
oh man, oh, that couldn't get you up.
It's been a while since we've done a visual novel of some kind, I feel like. I mean, Star and I did the Sonic April Fool's one, which, to all the Shadow fans in the audience, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I did to your boy. You should have seen it coming, but I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for the Night of the Woods fans to come and get and lynch you up for what you did to Greg.
I had so much fun doing that. And I'm looking for another place for where I can use that voice. Whenever we get to Danglin' Grandpa 2, which God only knows when that's gonna be, Surratt has said there's a specific character that you're gonna need that voice for. To all the Danganronpa fans in the audience, I'm not sorry.
We do have another visual novel in just waiting for Yoko to go available again, and that's Ace Attorney 2.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Ace Attorney is one of those series that I have a weird relationship with. Like, but by all accounts, I should adore that series. Like, I should love everything about it. What is my general opinion? It's okay. Like, I should be one of those crazy, like, rabid hyper fans of it. But for some reason, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is fine. I like this. I don't like it as much as some other games in the same style. Looks over at Aviary, looks over at Harvey Birdman. And so, like, it's weird to me that I don't like it more than I do.
I've talked about it a few times in case of the wonders of possibly doing Digimon Survive, but therein that lies problems. It's a slog of a visual novel. It's maybe better with the crew to help voice the characters.
Mm-hmm.
This case, yeah, there's the racing elements, which basically grind up levels for the characters, the Digimon, but that's something I can do off screen.
It's funny. It's funny when Star and I are LPing or streaming, and we'll be like, "We'll do that off screen," and then we don't.
Yeah, it's very much a case of I know Star has Cyber Sleuth.
I think we have a couple of the Digimon games.
For Digimon Survives it means when I upgrade my machine, it's buying it for a second time.
Star and I still need to find a point to do Space Quest 5, which means I need to remember how Space Quest 5 works. We still have to do Myst 3 with Surad, and there's only one reason we're gonna be doing Myst 3. We want to do Myst 3 so we can have an excuse to do Myst 4, because I have shit to say about that game. Myst 4? Not my least favorite Myst game. In fact, there are things about Myst 4 that I adore. Myst 4, however, is the Myst game that by far makes me the angriest.
Also make a note of, I said it before, behind the scenes guys, I will never run a game that purposely introduces raids. Why I'm never going to do something like golfing with friends.
Yeah.
Because you're probably not friends by the end of it.
Like the reason I'm okay with doing Myst 4 is I know what the game's about, I know what I'm in for. There's stuff in it that, from like a game design and storytelling perspective, that make me mad, and I want to talk about it. Like, I want to talk about what in the game works and what doesn't. Same reason I want to do Chrono Cross with Surad, and Surad specifically. So we can just have a discussion about, like, okay, here's this game, it's very divisive, let's talk about why. What in it works? What in it doesn't?
How much of a diatribe are you going to have with Surratt when he's going to be drunk?
But like I don't want to do games just to deliberately torture people as much as I joke about it. I am, however, interested in just like, and this is like the video games as art hipster nerd in me. I'm interested in discussing, like, in having like a reasoned discussion about, like, this is something in the game that bothers me in terms of design, or like this is something that I felt fell flat, or, you know, that sort of thing. And in terms of Myst 4, it's a couple of very specific things. If you can get past them, like, if you can emotionally get past those things, it's a fine game. In fact, Myst 4 has some of my favorite moments in the franchise. I just have trouble emotionally getting past them. And again, like, Chrono Cross has good elements in it. It just also has elements that are rough and less good. Phantasy Star 3, which is the black sheep of the Phantasy Star series, has some really cool ideas. Also has some really dog shit ones. Castlevania 2, ahead of its time. Technology and writing and staffing wasn't there. Like, and it makes for interesting discussions. Now, if you were to say, like, let's do an LP of I Want to Be the Guy, I'd be like, hell no. What's wrong with you?
I'd be asking that. I know what Want to Be the Guy is like, and it's... No! That's evil.
Like, from a design standpoint, for what it is, I love I Want to Be the Guy. I don't want to LP it with anyone in the crew. I don't particularly want to put anyone through it.
We don't.
I put one friend of mine through it once as a joke. I also did Cat Planet with them. They hated both of them. And I'm like, okay, you don't like them, that is fine. But like, the references and the unrelenting nature of I Want to Be the Guy are funny. Just the sheer amount of times it crosses the line. But like, in terms of like, hey, let's do an LP of it and record, let's say, Yoko doing it, even though I know Yoko's abundantly aware of what I Want to Be the Guy is. It's like, no, I don't want to make people frustrated with the game. I want us to be having fun, and I want us to be possibly, like, thinking about the games and, like, how they work. Or failing that, just taking the piss out of a game. That's fun as well.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, there's a fine line between, like, taking the piss out of the game and just hating the game too much. I like to think that, like, when I'm in mock a game mode, I don't go too far. Granted, I'm not sure if I always succeed in that, but I'm trying. Granted, Danganronpa, I'm making an absolute train wreck. But that's not, like, I'm not trying to, like, be... It's not an I hate the game thing, it's... I'm being as goofy as humanly possible. Also, when Layla and I did the test recording, like, I made the main character, Father O'Hagan, drunk enough to kick your ass, and she's like, oh, if we ever LP the game, you have to do that. And I'm like, are you sure? Okay. Remember, you asked for it.
I think I already told you this before, okay, so 20 minutes into the first LP, first stream is... Yeah, I think I'd admit. And it's been brought up before as case of if you ever brought it in his RP character, case of he dies even within the first 20 minutes.
There are cleric ideas I have. I would never bring Father O'Hagan into a tabletop scenario. I would not. The closest I have to Father O'Hagan is Okasan. And we've discussed this. Even I have limits to how much I'm willing to tolerate of Okasan.
Yeah.
There comes a point where I'm like, okay, enough is enough with Okasan. He's gonna take a nap for a little while. I'm gonna play someone sane for a little bit.
May still thinks he got plans for Okasan.